Your body feels alive, but what if I told you that the moment you die isn't the end everyone thinks it is? And scientists might actually be close to understanding what really happens. Sounds strange, right? Stick with me because this changes how you look at life itself. Welcome back to PsychologyFacts. Here we dive into why we feel, think, and act the way we do. Today we are uncovering what science has learned about the moment of death. And by the end you will see it reflected in your own life, whether you realize it or not. Have you ever wondered what's really going on inside our brain when life slips away? It's a question people have asked forever. Well, new research is showing that even as the body shuts down, the brain might still be lighting up in surprising ways. Scientists found that some brain waves, those patterns of electricity that shape our thoughts and feelings, don't just stop. They actually spike near death, like bursts of activity. Imagine waves crashing wildly on a beach just before the tide pulls back. What could that mean? Think about times when people say they had a near-death experience or saw a bright light. Some researchers think those might be linked to these brain bursts. It's not just stories, but real patterns in our biology. This challenges everything we thought about dying. Have you ever felt a moment when time seemed to slow, or life flashed before your eyes? Maybe in a scary or intense moment? That might be your brain's way of making sense of big changes like the ones in those last seconds. The truth is, death might not be a hard stop, but a complex shift in brain activity that shapes how we experience the end. But what if this isn't just about death? What if it tells us how deeply connected our mind and body really are? Scientists also discovered that these brain waves near death resemble those during deep sleep or dreaming, suggesting the brain could be creating vivid experiences even then. So that light people talk about could be part of the brain's own way to process its final moments. Think about how dreams blend memory and feeling. It might be the brain's last way to tell a story before shutting down. This shows us that even at the edge of life, the brain is still active, still trying to make sense. Have you ever woken up from a dream and felt confused about what was real? Near death, our brain might experience something similar, blurring the line between waking and dreaming life and what lies beyond. What if death isn't just biological, but also psychological? That our experience of dying might be shaped by how our brain works at the very last moment. This changes how we think about fear and the unknown. Maybe it's less dark, more of a transition. But here's something curious near death. Brain activity could also explain why some people feel peace or even euphoria. Despite the body being under extreme stress, it's the brain's final gift, perhaps calming us as things change. Have you ever felt sudden calm in a crisis when everything else feels out of control? That might come from deep inside a part of us wired for survival, even in the face of the ultimate challenge. So what can this teach us about life? First, it reminds us that our brain is incredibly powerful, not just while we are awake, but in those final moments to second it shows. Death is part of a natural process with mysteries we are just beginning to understand. Third, it helps ease fear. Knowing our brain might create peaceful experiences at the end can be comforting. And finally, it invites us to live fully, appreciating the fragile magic of life while we have it. What about you? When was the last time you thought about life and death together? I would love to hear your story in the comments. Today we saw how science is revealing that the moment of death isn't silence or darkness, but a complex, active process in the brain. But this is just one piece of the puzzle. Next time we will explore how our fears shape what we do every day. Until then, keep noticing the little mysteries your brain holds, and keep growing with me here.